I saw new colors in your eyes, a world so vibrant and alive, like fireflies in late July. You crashed into me ever bright, and you are my morning light.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In front of me, I have a box that's traveled a very long way to get here to North Carolina. All the way from France to Louisiana, and then on a plane to North Carolina. This is a brand new Paramotor wing. And we are gonna do an unboxing and a test flight today. But first, I've got my old wing here. This wing has been my trusty companion for many years. This brand, as more specifically, Paramania, it's sad to see it go. However, the time always comes for new, and in my life now, one of the most important aspects of flying, and it always has been, but even more so now, is safety. So with that in mind, I started my search for a new Paramotor wing. And what I have found in front of me is supposedly the paramount of safety and comfort and turbulence, penetration. And we're just gonna go right ahead and tell you what this wing is. It is a 22.5 meter ITV Piper with fuel branding, the fuel livery, and we are going to open this bad boy up right now and get it in the air. I'm so excited. I haven't flown a new wing in many years. I've had the Paramania GTS 22 since 2016, and it is due time for a new Paramotor wing. And I have been assured by one of my good friends that I've flown around the world with, that I believe in, is very experienced, and I trust his judgment, because after all, I basically taught this guy how to fly, and he's in the game a lot more than me. So I trust his judgment and his recommendation wholeheartedly with 100% confidence. And what he has sent me, thank you, Matt Minyard. Shout out to Paramotor, Louisiana. If you're looking for a new wing, hit him up, because he will not disappoint. It'll be with you in a matter of days. I've had this wing for a few weeks now, and I haven't had a chance to fly it because I've been flying bigger things. But we are gonna get into it right now, very carefully. We're gonna open this thing up. I haven't even opened the box yet. So, very, very carefully with the razor blade. Hopefully I know Matt knows how to package a wing. Oh yeah, here we go. First wing in many years, new wing in many years. So excited to try this wing out. I've heard so many good things about this wing. I wanted something that was similar to my Paramania GTS, and Matt said that this was it. Nice and crispy ITV in the bag. Piper 22.5 fuel serial number. Dang, this wing was made in 2022. Got a nice little windsock. Oh yeah, got a nice lanyard with some stickers, and looks like an instruction manual. We don't need the instruction manual. Woo! Nice and crispy. So, we're gonna get this thing laid out and we're gonna get in the air. I did order this special. It does have the power attack system, so I don't know exactly what ITV calls that, but I told Matt, hey, I want the trimmers where if I push on the speed bar, it lets out all the trimmers. If I bring the speed bar in, it lets all the trimmers in. Some people call that the PK system, the power attack system. I had it on my GTS 22. I thought it was a phenomenal system, and that's really what I wanted. I want the ability to go fast somewhere and slow down right away without having to mess with the trimmers all the time. I don't like to mess with the trimmers all the time. If I want to go fast, I push on the speed bar if I've got it hooked up at the time, and if I get to where I want to go and I want to play around, sightsee in that spot, I'll bring the speed bar in, play around. Want to go somewhere else, push on the speed bar. So that's really what I needed, I wanted in my new wing. And overall turbulence protection, collapse protection, and also speed. So that is what Matt assured me this wing will do for me, and we are going to test it right now. Let's get this thing laid out, get the engine warmed up, and we are going to send it right now. All right, here we go. It is Wednesday, August 24th. First flight on the ITV Piper 22.5 fuel. We're about to send it here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm out at Ben's place. Ben is not here. And we're gonna test this wing out in the air and give our thoughts and reactions. This wing is supposed to take off a little easier. Well, a lot easier than my Paramotor GTS. And Matt assured me of that, so we're about to see. So my first reaction with that takeoff, I did have a little bit of a tailwind. It was a much shorter takeoff and a lot less effort than the GTS 22. A lot less effort, which tells me that this wing is a lot more efficient than that GTS. We're just gonna kind of hang around here, get used to this wing. Matt did set up the wingtip steering, but it looks like this one is out of whack. I can see that the trailing edge definitely needs this wingtip steering needs to be put out a little bit more. So, come on, Matt. Look at that. Oh yeah, definitely need to do some adjustments on the wingtip steering. The brake line looks a little tight as well. Just minor adjustments there. There's hardly any wind right now. Pretty much, I got a little tailwind behind me, and right now my ground speed is 29.3 miles per hour. 29 miles per hour, 29.4, 29.8. So that's going this way. So let's find out. I'm gonna turn around, see what it is going back down this field towards the west. 26, 27, so it's 29, going east, 27.5, 28, so pretty much not a tailwind up here, a little bit, a tailwind towards the west, just minor, okay? So I don't think today, on today's flight, I'm gonna set up the speed bar just because I want to get comfortable with the wing first before I do that. But we're gonna see what difference the trims make.
Okay, so we're slightly going into the wind. I'm gonna release the trims. See how they come out. It's a little bit violent. There's all the way. Can I still reach my tip steering? Yeah, it's kind of high up there. Definitely need to adjust the wingtip steering. Let's look. Wow. 30, 38, 39, 38, 39 miles per hour. Going into the wind, into the slight wind. Let's turn around and see. It's hard to reach that tip steering with it's pretty high up there, I'll tell you that. We need to bring that down, for sure. Let's turn around. Ooh, this thing's smoking. $38, $39. $39 miles per hour. $39 miles per hour. Fully trimmed out. 39.2. 39. 39. Oh, 40.2, 40.4. Woo, 40 miles per hour. So let's see how hard it is to bring these trimmers in. I definitely need to take these out, both the brake and the wingtip, and move this down, because when I'm fully trimmed out, it's really hard to reach this. So let's see how hard it is to bring these trims back in. So, okay, one pump, and all the way in. That's not too bad. The pressure to bring it back in is not too bad. These are, you can see this is a very long trim system. Very long trim system. It does have split A's here. The pressure on the D's and the brake lines feels normal, actually a little bit more solid than the GTS in the full slow configuration. And now we're going to see how this thing turns. The brake pressure definitely does not feel as hard as the Paramotor. Turning feels pretty good. Let's see how it climbs. All right, climb rate. We're full in on the trim. Put a little brake pressure on here. Give it full power. Slightly into the wind. Okay, it looks like it's averaging about 7.5 feet per second. Now I'm gonna go to idle and see how this thing glides. Get a feel for how this thing glides. Right now it's wanting to go to the left, averaging about 7 feet per second down. 30 miles per hour. All right, let's do a climb with a slight tailwind just to see the average here. Okay, back the other way and full power. Okay, averaging about 6 to 7 feet per second. I'm at 1,000 feet. Let's go to idle and get a feel for how this thing glides down. Okay, not bad, not bad. Feels pretty good. I'm gonna put the phone away. We're just gonna have a little fun, get a feel for this glider. Okay, put this thing into a slight dive. See how it comes out at idle. Here we go, little left turn, little right turn. Let's see. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Hands up. Not too bad, actually. I like that. Let's see. If I come out right above. Solid. Solid. I love it. All right, let's see the handling down low. What kind of control inputs are needed to maintain straight level flight with the contour of the ground? Definitely not as much power is needed as the GTS to maintain level flight. I'm not just like that. So I do believe, just at first impressions, that this glider is much more efficient. I will be burning less gas. Let's see the turn. Little outside brake pressure. And wow, that is smooth. Slight incline here. Feels super stable. Maintain a straight path. Okay, let's do a turn. Turns pretty tight. Feels good. The brake pressure feels solid. Not too mushy. Okay, let's see a climb. Nice climb, nice climb. I like the climb rate. And a dive. Yes, sir. Love it. Feels familiar. And that's what I like. The glider feels familiar. Okay, so I'm just up here cruising along about 700 feet or so, and it's story time. So, one thing's for sure, it's never a good idea to fly with a jacket that has a hood on it. Never a good idea. I thought my other jacket was in my van, but it was not. So it was a little chilly, and all I had was this little rain jacket, and the hood sucks. So I would strongly recommend never flying with a jacket that has a hood on it. It's choking me. Anyways, so I'm very happy about the swing. My first impressions are that it is familiar. And like I said before, I like that because I have been in love with Paramania power gliders for many years. Ever since I first started flying back in 2009, when I first saw a Paramania Fusion destroy me in a competition in South Korea. I bought one. And ever since then, I've been a loyal fan, a loyal flyer of the Paramania brand. The Paramania brand, unfortunately, is no longer. The only relics that remain are flown by pilots like me that trust and have full confidence in those gliders. Because I'll tell you what, the glider has never failed me. It's solid. It is a beast in turbulence. Sure, the brake pressure is hard, but that's what it takes to slice through turbulence. And I love the glider. It does eat gas, but it's very fun. And the way I fly, it has suited me for many years. However, times have changed, and the reason they have changed is because I have a wife. She's pregnant. We're about to have a baby. The due date is November 3rd. We just had our baby shower. And as I fly that old glider, I mean, the glider doesn't have that many hours on it, but it is an old glider. And the takeoffs have become harder. The fuel burn has become more. And I feel that those attributes of the glider as it stands in its current state lead to a less safe glider. And my flying style has definitely changed because of I have a wife, my family, a kid coming on the way. And so flying that glider, the idea of flying that Paramania GTS in its current state of age and hours has, rendered itself unacceptable to me. And so I was left with no option in my mind but to move on to a glider, a new glider. And thus my search for a new glider commenced. And I didn't have to look far, actually. Let's turn around here. I didn't have to look far because my good buddy Matt Minyard down in Louisiana, I trust him. He's a very experienced pilot. He's in the game. This is his life, is flying paramotors. It's his life, it's his business, it's how he puts food on the table. And he's flown everything. And we have flown all over the world together. He knows how I fly. He's flown with me more hours than anyone else in the world. And I went to him and I said, I want something safe, something solid, most importantly safe, and you know my flying style, Matt, so what should I get? I asked him, I said, hey, that Hadron, the Dudek, not the Hadron, the Warp 2. I started watching videos on the Warp 2 and I was kind of leaning towards the Warp 2 because it's got new technology. I thought it was safe. And I thought it would be a good fit for me. I went to him, I said, hey, I'm looking at the Warp 2. He said, absolutely not. For what your flying style is and what you're trying to accomplish, and most importantly, if you have safety on your mind, you need a Piper. It's most familiar to you. It's similar to the Paramotor, the most similar in his opinion. And I can get the PK system. And it's fun. More efficient than the GTS. Takes off a lot easier. So I said, you made up my mind. The decision was very easy for me. Send it. And guess what? Matt never fails. He sent it. Here it is. So my initial impressions, just flying for a short time today, are that I am going to love this glider. It looks great. It feels very safe. It feels very familiar. And so we start the process of a long journey together, getting to know each other, get to know the ins and outs of this glider, and hopefully, oh, that seems like a good idea. Lovely. Just like that. We got to know each other a little bit better. Got to adjust these brake lines. The glider feels solid. Let's do some wing arms. Love the way she turns. We're not going to get too crazy today. Just feeling her out. I'm going to land, adjust these brake lines. They need to come out a little bit, and it does look like there's a way that I can move them down. So I'm going to move them down to their lowest position here and release some of the wingtip steering and the brake lines, because I do see they're tucked in a little bit. Okay, here we go. Let's see how this landing goes. Nice little dive. All right, let's see that flare. Oh, not too bad, not too bad. First flight in the books on the Piper 22.5. Fuel, baby, fuel. Woo-hoo-hoo.